David, give us your assessment on that. Good win, but probably looking for performances as well. Felt like you got both really tonight.
Yeah, as I always say when we speak about pre-season games, obviously it's nice to have a win, but the result is irrelevant. But what I've seen today, in terms of our defensive shape in the mid block, in the lower block, and sometimes even in the high block, we looked very organized, very structured, gave very little away. Was a good step, good improvement to the last weeks. Obviously, this is what I expected from us to make steps in the right direction. Great commitment as well. They had to fight because obviously there were a lot of work to do defensively, and they digged in, what I really loved as well. And offensively, we had, I think, clear-cut chances, good goal, good red zone entries as well. So I think it was a proper test in a good environment, atmosphere, stadium, pitch. So big credit to Darmstadt. We can use here the training facilities, the dressing rooms as well. The hotel is not too far, only 10 minutes from here. So great setup, good test. Everybody healthy, most important thing for us, which makes me very happy. And good next step, and we go on.
And as you said, we just said off camera there, towards the end there was a little bit of an edge to it as well, bit of a shoving, I think, gentle shoving. But I mean, that's good to see from the competitive element of it all as well, even though it's a friendly and it's pre-season.
Yeah, I think nobody needs it, but at the end of the day, young guys, a lot of energy. Maybe we have to train even more to leave this energy on the pitch. But I think everyone calmed down then at the right moments. But it shows that they wanted to win, even a pre-season game, and that they wanted to have their clean sheet, even in a pre-season game. And this is what I really liked.
On a personal level, you say you have a strong connection with this club. We know you played for them. Was it nice to come back here, see a few familiar faces, and see a club on the up again? Back in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, absolutely. What this club has done in the last years is just outstanding. So you see here the facility, the stadium where they invested. They invested as well in the first team building, in the pitches. So they have done very well for a club of this size. I'm very pleased for them. I'm very happy that. We have this relationship, and we were able to use this relationship to organize this test. Was quite short connection in between us, so we don't need an agency or anything for this. We made it by our own, and this was very beneficial.
Back to the game and the goal itself, two elements I want to ask you about. Jack Stacey again. I mean, we've seen in the first three pre-season games he's a really adventurous attacking fullback, and that was underlined again today. Just on that, but him as overall and what he can bring, you can see just watching the game that final third he's all about trying to get into there and affect the play.
Absolutely. So what he has done in the first 2.5 weeks was very impressive. I've seen enough from him in the past, and this is the reason why I've signed him. But when you now work with him and you see that this is not a fluke what he's doing in games, you've seen it in training as well. Quite often super fit guy as well, and defensively very reliable. I think he has to get used a little bit to our front foot defending, what he's doing. Top performance again from him. I think in general defensively the whole team, all players looked very structured and very well organized. I really liked it. And offensively, Jack Stacey was a threat.
I know, as you say, defensively they did look solid, and it's not about individuals, but again, we talked about him at King's Lynn. Shane Duffy, you can see just the experience. There was one or two occasions that felt like they may have got in behind you, and he uses all his experience and his pace and just that ability to sort of sense danger almost. You can't underestimate what an impact he could have.
Yeah, he's a man, isn't he? A proper, a big man as well. So good to have him. He needs further training sessions. He needs further game time as well. I think we were able to see. When he starts to get a little bit tired, then he starts to get a little bit more unfocused, unconcentrated, what is totally normal. So we have another 3.5 weeks to go. We have to make sure that he gets further minutes in game and training in his legs, and then we are absolutely happy to have him in our squad.
And keeping on the centre-back theme, good to see Andrew come out there second half, get some first minutes of pre-season.
Yeah, and has done well. Was not an easy situation to come in at this stage of the game. Everything what I've heard is that everyone is healthy after the game, so this means he will get further minutes on Saturday. Maybe halftime, we will see how he recovers from today. Good to have him back, good to have him as another competitor for our centre-back positions, and this is exactly what we need.
And obviously the goal scorer, Nacho, we talked after the Kings Lynn game that you played him more deeper, but today he's a bit further into the number 10, if you want to say that, and he underscored his ability on the ball in the final third.
Yeah, he's exactly doing what I said. So make sure, guys, especially the offensive player, that you put me under pressure with goals and assists if I have to make my team selection for the season. And he's doing this obviously because we like to be very fluid and variable in our midfield position. It's more where he starts in the defensive shape rather than where he is then in our offensive game, because we are very fluid. He has done it well, very well. He has, everybody knows, unbelievable legs. Only shows unbelievable numbers, something what we need for our game. Very reliable in terms of how many yards he covers. And it was another good step for him as well.